Very good afternoon to you. I'm Lisa Broom with the CBC News Break. Prime Minister Fundell Stewart has affirmed his administration's commitment to facilitating a vibrant local business sector. Mr. Stewart made the comments as he addressed the Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry's January Business Luncheon.
And nobody, no sensible and thinking person in Barbados can want to have other than successful businesses in Barbados. We believe in private sector-led growth, and you cannot have private sector-led growth if you have failing companies. When companies fail, jobs are affected, and every government has a vested interest in job creation.
Prime Minister Stewart said, among other things, when companies fail, the flow of goods and services is affected. He said government is also affected in terms of revenue.
And when businesses fail, when they're not making profits, there is nothing for government to tax. So governments are disappointed. Because if government doesn't get taxation, it cannot minister to the requirements of the population in the way in which it wants to do. So every sensible government, and I believe that all the governments we've had in Barbados were sensible governments, have a vested interest in seeing businesses doing well, all of them.
Management of the Grantley Adams International Airport has been given until this evening to respond to a letter from the National Union of Public Workers regarding outstanding money for the workers at the airport. General Secretary Rosalind Smith made the announcement while speaking to the media following an hour-long meeting at the airport yesterday afternoon. She says the airport owes workers a 3.5% salary increase, which stems from a salaries agreement from 2010 to 2012. Ms. Smith, however, declined to say what protest action would be taken, if any.
We will not know if the letter will say that they have acceded to our request, so there will be no need for protest action. But if it varies, then we would have to do what we have to do that is necessary. Yeah. Okay? That's what I'm saying.
Attorney General Adriel Brathwaite is calling on churches across Barbados to assist in the fight against drug addiction. Mr. Brathwaite says he's convinced that the church has the power to reap results through intervention programs catered to drug addicts.
The history of Barbados is as follows. Every village has a rum shop, and then came the church, or is it the other way around? But every village in Barbados, I'm right, the more serious point is that there's a church in almost every village in Barbados. So we have a serious opportunity, a good opportunity to reach more of our people if we in fact are able to persuade more of our church leaders that programs such as this is as important as their spiritual program.
Mr. Brathwaite was speaking during the graduation ceremony for the first cohort of participants in Procure Barbados. Procure stands for Training and Certification Program for Drug and Violence Prevention, Treatment and Rehabilitation. Among those graduating were 36 participants who were trained in prevention education and 29 treatment intervention. Barbados's representative for the Organization of American States, Ambassador Francis McBarnett, has pledged the OAS's continued support in the fight against drugs. He says the people who are considered the big fish in the drugs trade are usually not the ones who are arrested.
We are learning a lot about it every day. The people that we are apprehending, the so-called addicts, what we have said in the OAS and what we have discovered, they are the low end. They are the people easily apprehended. The drug traffickers, the people who make the major gain from drugs, from illegal drugs, are not the people we are apprehending. The people we are apprehending, most of them are addicted.
Minister of Youth Stephen Lashley is stressing the importance of health and safety in the workplace, especially as it relates to young people. He spoke about it at the Pinnacle Safety Solutions Expo at the Accra Beach Hotel and Spa. The minister pointed out that young people make up a critical component of the workforce, and their contribution is critical to the country's development. It's with that in mind that he says both young workers and their employers should be aware of what is needed to keep them safe.
I believe that it is very important that both our youth and our employers know their rights and responsibilities. This includes ensuring that the environment is safe and that all necessary safety equipment is provided. In other words, there should be no shortcuts. It is also important that youth are well trained so that they can do their jobs safely, and this training should also be extended to all potential hazards associated with the workplace that youth will be doing so that they can recognize and report on safe situations.
Climate change and low investment are two of the challenges the local agriculture sector must overcome to develop further. That's the view of Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Food, Fisheries and Water Resource Management, Andrew Gittins. He says government has signaled its intention to return the agriculture sector to a place of prominence.
This is evidenced by the Cabinet's approval of a national agricultural policy, a policy which is intended, among other things, to improve the level of food security, create linkages between the sector and other sectors, namely health, tourism, and manufacturing, and create employment through the creation of agri-businesses.
We'll have regional and international news after this break. Stay with us.